Here's another method for hiding and showing the circle measurements, and this is actually the method that I use quite a bit. It's a little bit overkill perhaps for this situation, but it's a method that just lends itself really broadly to a lot of different kinds of applications of making things appear and disappear. I'll be doing it with bringing text in, but you can also do it with bringing in an object, a function, whatever. In terms of dynamic elements, this is oftentimes now the way that I do things. In order to make this work, it is possible on a geometry page, but I find it's a lot easier to do on a graphs page. And the idea of this is going to be this. Let me show the axes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct a perpendicular to the axis. And the reason why I'm doing a perpendicular in this case is that I'm going to have several values to bring in. Okay, so let us attach various points to this perpendicular. But what we are going to do is give them after each one, and it might be hard to tell on the video, as soon as I click to put a point on, let's make sure I have the point on tool, is I'm going to hit the space bar right after plotting a point and then hit enter. This is a way to label the points as I use them. So now you'll see there's a blank label there, a blank label on that point, and a blank label on that point. You can always label the points after, and why they're blank, really they can be anything, they don't have to be blank, because we're going to make those points disappear. So what I'm going to now do is take some text boxes. Actually in this case, now I no longer need the axes, so I will hide the axes. And let's make some measurements. Let's make the measurements that I want to bring in and out. So first the radius, then the circumference, and finally the area. And I could put the values separately and attach the numbers to those as text boxes, but instead I'm just going to make this simpler and put them right within the text boxes themselves. So to this first, if I now select this first text box, select to attach, I'm going to attach it to this first point. Circumference, I will attach to the second point, and area I will attach to the third point. That's why I did 3. I can now move these points around to space them out a bit. Okay. And notice that as I move the point on the x-axis where I plotted the perpendicular, I can move these values in and out. So rather than appearing and disappearing, in this case what's really going to happen is that we will send this perpendicular outside the viewing window and bring it in when we want it. In order to do that, I need to define the x-coordinate of this point. And I will just call it xx. Okay? Alright, now we need to write a program that will tell this value what to be depending upon what the hide and show value is. So I'll insert a page, insert a program, and I will call this, my slider is called show, so I'll just call this hide show. Now my variable I will define, and I will use a piecewise definition. And back on this page, if I get it to about where I want it when it appears, let's say over here, looks like about 5 is a good number. So I'll say, let's make this equal to 5 when the slider, which is called show, equals 2. And when that is not true, let's send it way far away. Let's put it at 30. I could type in here show equals 1, but by default a blank one there means whenever else. I will save this program, go to a notes page. I have a split notes page here. You may have seen another video which explains why I do it this way. And my program was called hide show, and now that is being executed. If I do not execute the program on the interactive notes page, the program will not get executed the way I would like to. So notice right now the slider is on hide, and so the values do not appear. But when I click on show, boom, they do appear because my x value takes on that value of 5. So now all I have to do is hide some things. Hide that point, hide the perpendicular, and I can now even hide these points because I don't need those points, but these values are attached. So the points are hidden. These values are attached to those blank labels, or the label of a blank space, and so I can't even move these. Very quickly then, hide and show. With this idea, where you take a point, change its value, you can move things around, and it doesn't have to be text. It can be an object that is attached to a value. Basically, you can control a variable and where it appears simply with the program. And that's where a hide and show works very well. The program page can then be deleted. We don't need that there anymore for the program to be defined. And on this page I would reduce it down so that it is hidden, and here I would put my title, instructions, and so on. I will leave the program page in there now, and you will have this file on the site in case you want the finished version.